What is the difference between good treatment and hypocrisy? Does this display of hatred and ugly words please God or make him angry? Is concealing hatred and bad words considered hypocrisy? Or is suppressing anger and responding to bad with good and spreading love and goodness among people? What is the difference between politeness or courtesy and hypocrisy? Among people, especially since courtesy spreads love and goodness among people, especially in this blessed month of Ramadan, if a person refrains from blaming another person and forgives him and pardons him, is this considered politeness and suppression of anger? And whoever does that, his reward is great with God? Or is that a mistake? There is a question received from one of the followers. The question is, if, for example, I am with friends, and I do not like how they treat me between myself and myself, but I treat them well, am I thus a hypocritical person? That is, if a situation occurred that I did not like from one of them, but this thing does not harm anyone, I did not comment on this as if nothing had happened. Am I thus considered a hypocrite if I overlooked and acted as if nothing had happened? The answer is as follows: being kind to people, being kind to them, and treating them with kind words and the like, even if the person hates them, is not considered hypocrisy, but rather it is a good thing because it involves winning over their hearts and trying to correct whatever defects they may have. In the Sahih on the authority of Aisha, the Messenger of God said, "In the eyes of God, the worst of people is in the position on the day of resurrection of one whom people abandon out of fear of his evil." The advice now is that your company with these people should be for the purpose of reforming them, or achieving a religious or worldly benefit for you or for them. But do not befriend anyone except those whose friendship increases you closer to God Almighty, as in the hadith that the Messenger of God said, where he said, "Do not keep company except with the believer, and he does not eat your food is only pious," narrated by Abu Dawud. You must beware of backbiting, for its consequences are dangerous, and hold people's actions in the best possible light, for this brings comfort to the heart and tranquility to the soul. The logic is that a person should have good morals, honesty, faith, and beautiful modesty, as a person is ashamed to say any word that offends or hurts another person. This is modesty, fear of God, love for God, and a desire to enter paradise. As the most common reason for entering paradise is good morals, the Messenger of God also said that a kind word is charity. God Almighty said in the noble Qur'an, "The example of a good word is like a good tree whose root is firm and whose branches are in the sky, yielding its fruit at all times. And the example of a bad word is like a bad tree uprooted from above the earth, having no stability." Every action, every word, and every utterance in this life must be for the sake of God's pleasure, so that we have wisdom in all our actions and words, and thus we are able to make our decisions. We are able to make our decisions with patience and wisdom. God Almighty said, addressing his noble messenger and the Quran, "If you were rude and harsh in speech, those around you would disperse." It is also said that this so-and-so speaks with the tongue of God. That means, with the evidence of God, his Quran, and the sunnah of his messenger, and so who has a sweet tongue. It means, he speaks kindly, and does not speak except what is enjoining what is right, or forbidding what is wrong, or giving thanks to God and praising people. It was mentioned in the Quran, in the supplication of the Prophet of God, Abraham, where he called on God, saying, "And make for me a tongue of truthfulness among others." This means good praise, immortality, and a position among the nations that will come after me. God answered his call, so no one prays for the Prophet Muhammad, the last of the prophets, except he prays and greets the Prophet of God, Abraham, in the Tashahhud when he performs the 5 daily prayers to God, Lord of the worlds. When someone came to the Messenger of God and said to him, "Advise me, O Messenger of God," he said, "Do not get angry." Indeed, we see that patience and the ability not to get angry and to suppress anger as God Almighty has commanded us, to conceal anger and not revolt against every Muslim person, and tolerance and forgiveness when able, has a great consequence, and that happens when the sanctities of God are not violated. We are also commanded to enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong, as God Almighty has commanded us, but also to do what is good if possible. This is so that we can make people love the Islamic religion, its tolerance and greatness. All of these good morals lead to a reduction in crimes and an increase in the status of Islam. The wise person must guard his tongue and choose his words so as not to fall into danger. Because just as a garment covers the body, so the tongue covers a person's mind, and slips of the tongue often cause a person to die. It was mentioned in the Holy Qur'an in the words of God Almighty, "And when fear has passed, they will attack you with sharp tongues," meaning, they will harm you with harsh words, and attacking means harming you with harsh tongues. Preserving the tongue by remaining silent from muttering obscene words that attract the wrath of God Almighty is an individual obligation for every Muslim man and woman, because it is part of faith, as stated in the Sunnah of the Prophet, as narrated by Abu Hurairah, may God be pleased with him, who said, "The Messenger of God said, whoever believes in God and the last day, let him speak good or remain silent." Bukhari and Muslim. In the past, the wise said, "There is safety in silence, and in speaking there is remorse." It is also said that if speech is silver, then silence is gold. The rational person must distance himself from positions of apology. He should not unleash his tongue and speak anything so as not to bring disaster upon himself and put himself in critical situations. If you like the video, click like. If you like the channel, click subscribe. If you have any suggestion, question or comment, send it to us and you will be answered as soon as possible.